Welcome back. A local group is gearing up for the legislative session. Its focus, gender equality. Joanna Smith is with Utah Women Unite. Joanna, great to have you with us. Talking more about your group and your focus going into the legislative session. I appreciate having you here.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start off with a little bit of background. Our viewers may not necessarily be familiar with your group, so tell us how it got started and what you guys are all about.
Yeah, Utah Women Unite is a local Utah group, nonprofit. We're 501c3 and a 501c4 dedicated to elevating the status of Utah's women, girls, and non-binary genders, underrepresented genders, so that we kind of elevate their social status as well as their political status.
You are one of a few groups that I can think of that have that same mission. So what is it that brought you guys together?
A group of us were together at the start of the presidential election year in 2016, and we really recognized that Utah doesn't have a lot of the groups that have historically been around for women that specifically are about women's issues and specifically about recognizing equality in every bill, in every interaction with our legislators, and we wanted to address that.
Are you guys a nonpartisan group, and what type of women are you looking to have join you?
Yeah, we're 100% nonpartisan. I believe women and underrepresented genders are a nonpartisan issue. It's really about equality, and equality doesn't have to take sides.
Okay, let's move on to some of your focus and your goals. One thing is you have seen more women get involved in the political process, not necessarily elected to office, but maybe at the grassroots level.
Absolutely. Women in Utah vote at higher rates than other states, and they register to vote, and then they show up to vote more than their male counterparts in Utah, and that's really, really exciting to recognize our political power.
Okay, let's talk ahead now to the legislative session, something you guys prepare for. What are some of your priorities as we head into this next session? Because these types of issues, these very issues that you're talking about, have come up in the past, and not all of them have fared out so well.
Yeah, I think that it's an uphill battle, and we recognize that, but it's about showing up. So one of the things we're going to try to do is get the Equal Rights Amendment put on Utah's ballot again this year, and get to be the 36th state to pass that, to make it the final state that makes that a national thing. The Utah has it in our Constitution. We feel like it's only fair that it's in the national Constitution as well. So that's one of our things. We're going to work for equal pay, and we're going to make sure that every bill passed, everything that comes through the legislative session addresses equality in some way. Whether that gets put in there or not, we want legislators to know that we're watching them and that it's not going away, that we are voters and we will be engaging with them.
You guys have a questionnaire for legislators. We don't have time to go through all those questions, but in general, what is the purpose of that? What are you looking for?
Yeah, we're releasing 10 questions for voters to ask potential legislators, people coming into this election cycle this year, ask them specific issues that have to do with them. Do you believe people should receive equal pay for equal work? Simple yes or no questions. There's only 10 of them. And then we're going to ask all sitting legislators as well, and make sure that we're keeping a record of where they are and how they sit on women's issues.
Okay, and then what might you do with that record down the road?
It's going to be made public all along, and we're going to ask people to ask your legislators to answer the questionnaire. It takes 5 minutes to answer, and we want to know where they sit. And then the last question on that questionnaire is, would you be interested in working with Utah Women Unite? And I think that that's kind of the biggest question for women going forward is that, are you working with your legislators? Are you creating a working relationship with your elected officials? You should be calling them. They should know who you are. They should understand that they need to be taking meetings from you so that you can say, hey, my issue, I'm really concerned about my school because of this. I'm really concerned about this national policy. I'm really concerned about healthcare in Utah. And how are you addressing my issues?
Yeah, your voice isn't going to be heard unless you speak up, right?
Yep.
What's the best way to connect with you and your group if anyone's interested?
On Facebook, Utah Women Unite, or utahwomenunite.org.
All right, great to have you with us.
Thanks
So much for being here. Appreciate it. Coming up, the confirmation hearings for Judge Brett Kavanaugh are anything but typical. Our panel will debate right after the break.